Today's episode we're riding the world's thinnest electric skateboard, the H5 Blade. From the outside, the H5 Blade looks like a regular longboard. But don't be fooled. Inside this skateboard is a thin, flexible battery that powers motors in the back wheels. That's right, this is an electric skateboard. Now, electric skateboards have been around for a few years. Most likely you've seen one in Casey Neistat's videos. But modern electric skateboards are big, clunky, and weigh a ton. The H5 Blade looks like it's made to break that trend and be an electric skateboard people actually want to use. Let's take a look at how it does that. In the box, you'll receive the 37-inch Blade drop-through deck, a remote control, a T-wrench, and chargers for both the board and the remote. The board's deck is made of 10 layers of Canadian maple and 1 layer of fiberglass, in total only 12 millimeters thin, which means it's not only light, but also flexible, bending for a more comfortable ride. It's got a 3.5 amp per hour battery, which gives you about 2 to 3 hours of ride time per charge. And with two 480 watt motors on the back wheels, the board can reach a max speed of around 25 miles per hour. As for the wheels, they're 3.5 inches in diameter, so they can even handle some rougher terrain, and they're completely replaceable. Using the board is simple. Hit the power button on the bottom of the board, then turn on the included remote control. You can control all the board's functions with this remote control. It has a control wheel that you use to control speed and braking, and on the side is a switch to toggle between high and low gear. I found riding the H5 to be simple and a lot of fun. It was fast, but it didn't get out of control, and it was able to handle all the surfaces we tested on and took corners really nicely. One thing I liked about the board is that you could ride the board manually as well. I often found myself pushing off manually, then when I built up speed, turning on the motors and riding electrically from there. One thing to improve would be the brakes. The brakes feel really abrupt, almost causing me to fall off the board if not careful. But understandably, it is nice to have such responsive brakes in case of emergency. After using the H5 for a few days, here are my final thoughts. As I've said before, the H5 Blade feels like a regular longboard that just happens to have a motor in it, which I think is a great thing. But for a guy who doesn't often ride a skateboard, where would it fit into my daily life? With a range of about 9 miles, it wouldn't cover my full commute to work. But I probably could save 30 minutes riding it to the subway instead of walking. While I think anyone can ride this electric skateboard, I don't think it fits everyone's lifestyle. That being said, if you are in the market for an electric skateboard, I think you should definitely consider the H5 Blade. It's thin, it's light, and it's powerful, all at a price tag 1/3 of the competition. Thanks for watching this edition of GI Review. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest tech gadgets.